Welcome to my channel. So this is a follow-up of my live stream that I did on Wednesday where I was trying to do image transfers from this collage book. I had a few successes, a few not so successful, and I did a flip through of this book, so if you want to see that, check out the beginning of my live stream from this past Wednesday. And the reason I wanted to try this is I saw Michelle's Mixed Media do some work with this, and I'll link her below. She's also linked in the video of my live stream. And one of the things I liked, it says not for reproduction in whole, individual elements may be reproduced. And I had a few comments about, oh, you should have like done a laser print of that and not wreck your image, which is a good idea. I should have mentioned that. So when you do use your, this is a page from that book, when you use your image, it does get it colorized. So that's the one I used to make this print. And so you could, if you're really attached to the image, you could make a photocopy of it or a laser copy of it. You can do laser transfers on the Gelli plate, but as I mentioned in my live, I don't personally have a laser printer, and I haven't found a place locally that does very good laser prints. I'll look into that. But if you're really, emotionally attached to the image, by all means, take a copy of it. Some people didn't like that I, wrecked the originals, and I understand that. This was the first one I tried, and it was an absolute fail. So what I did is I wiped off the black paint, and we're gonna try it again. You can still see where the black ink is shiny. So we're gonna see if we can salvage that and do another print. The other thing is that this print we did, and this was like a ghost print that we kind of modified, and then I showed how you can sketch on top of it. So I'll work on this on my own, and then at the end I'll show you what I did with this. But today we're going to concentrate on seeing if this is salvageable, and maybe doing a few other tests using this book and the image transfer technique, using different paints to see what works the best. Remember, it is subject to your environment, how humid it is, the temperature. What I do might not work for you, what you do might not work for me. And I'm not, emotionally invested in these images. I bought this book with the intention of doing this. So if you don't want to wreck your images from the book, I totally get it. Make a copy. That's great. That's a great idea. All right, so let's get started. So this was the first one that I got that worked. It was the one after this, but it could have been, I thought about it, it might have been that I hadn't done any warm-up prints on my Gelli plate yet. Let's go ahead and try this. So I had used initially this black one, this Liquitex Basics Mars Black, and it did work. That's what I did with these two. And then I did do this one using the purple, the Liquitex purple. So let's go ahead and try the purple on this and see if we can pull anything. So my goal going forward is I'm trying to do a live stream every Wednesday at 2:30 Eastern. And then hopefully either do a follow-up video or a separate video of just something that I'm thinking of or working on the weekends. Hopefully Saturday, but sometimes I don't get it edited and it doesn't go up until Sunday. And then some weeks there might not be a video on the weekend, but that's my intention. So I'm gonna I do have a video about magazine transfers on the Gelli plate, and with that, I'll link that below. I think my brayer has a smudge spot on it from some paint. That's why I'm getting those little divots. I'm just gonna try to clean that off a little bit. Need a baby wipe. Meanwhile, this paint is not getting any fresher. Okay, let's see if that's, okay. So we got nice and thin. So the first step is to get a nice thin, even layer. And then I found that with these images from this book, is it really doesn't take very much time, not like a magazine image. So there we go. So I think the issue with doing this the first time was that I did not have my plate warmed up, and also that I had the image down too long. So for me, where I live, the image transfer for this book is quicker than it is for magazines. So I just kind of wiped some of that off so that I can either reuse this image in another transfer, or I can just use it as is in a collage. So she looks kind of creepy now. Let's just make her super pale. There we go. So it's still usable, even though I didn't take a copy of it. You can still use that in a collage. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry now. And I don't know what these things are on her face, but I thought it might be cool to add like some dragonfly wings around. I don't want to put it right on there, but I'm going to kind of just use these PM Artist Studio masks, and I'm going to use some pan pastels, and I'm just going to use, I was thinking gold, but maybe with the purple, maybe copper would be pretty cool. So I'm just going to use some copper in here. And maybe around it as well to give the outline. Now the other thing I'll just mention is, you know, when I did my live stream, it's live. So, I mean, the first few transfers didn't work, but you know, I think it's okay to show that things don't always go like according to plan. Like, I think that's okay. So I'm just doing a bit of gold, just kind of around, just sort of loosely to just outline where that the dragonfly is. And then we'll just kind of do that. We'll do 2 here. Should I do that? No, we'll do 2 here. And then we'll do 2 there. I didn't mention in my live that when you get pan pastel on your stencils or masks, just give it a wipe with a baby wipe, or you know, just wash your stencil, because that will come off the next time you use your stencil. So I forgot to mention that in my live. So this is a live stream follow-up amendment, and also just to remind you to, even if things don't work the first time, just keep trying, don't let it get you down, you know. Okay, so now we're gonna go to fast forward while I add the rest of this pan pastel. And just a reminder that pan pastel is a dry medium, so once you put it on, you can pick it up pretty quickly. If you don't have pan pastels, you can use makeup. Just don't use anything with like harsh glitter that could scratch your plate. You could use paint. You just have to make sure to let it dry. And I think I'm also going to add like a little bit of a copper glow around her, because I'm just kind of sparingly putting the gold around the dragonfly, and then we'll add sort of a glow of copper around her and then pick it up with a light color. So I like how metallics look on black, and I thought, even though it won't be directly on the black, I thought it might be cool to pick this up with this playful pink and this blue violet flash. Let's just try it, and we're gonna do an ombre. So I'm gonna do the purple down below and this pink iridescent, playful pink iridescent. It's kind of like a white with a hint of pink in it. Ooh, there we go. So I'll do the purple. And I want her face to be more of this white. You can see how it's got kind of a violet shift to it. Oh, I'm almost out. I'm gonna have to order some of this. I love this color. That's a cool color. I gotta clean some of these palette knives. All right, let's use this one. I'm just gonna do that. Use my big brayer. there's a bit too much paint on the bottom. Okay, let's put this on. Oop, that's barely on there. So I'm gonna give that a good rub. Make sure you rub the corners. Try to get the corners on there as best you can. And then we'll let that dry and then we'll pull it up and see what we got. I think that's dry. So this is very different looking. Okay, I'm gonna bring that up so you can see it. So here we go. So that's a little bit spooky looking. Depending which way you look at it, you get different colors. Now let's try a few more images with that book using a few more different kinds of paints. Just gonna clean this space with baby oil, I should say, just to get all that pan pastel off of there. So I'm just putting the baby oil on, I'm gonna spread it, then I'm gonna wipe it up with the baby wipe and I'll be right back. Cut out another page and I thought we'd try some different paints. I do have a magazine transfer tutorial and in that I did try the black gesso and I'm gonna do that here. Just make sure your black gesso that you choose isn't like one of the really gritty ones because you don't want to damage your plate. This one's quite smooth, so we're gonna try that. And I got my small plate out so we could just try it like on a small area. So we could just do some mini prints. So we'll do the black gesso. We'll try this block printing. It's water soluble and it doesn't dry very fast, so I thought we could try to just pick it up right away, do that. And when I did my video, I didn't use this in my magazine transfer video I did 2 years ago, but I thought we'd try it, and I thought we could try this fluid acrylic, which I didn't have back then, so I thought we'll try that. I've seen people use that with good success. And you know what, we'll do a white transfer too. Here, we'll use the white acrylic paint on some of these. We'll use the black gesso on this, and then we'll use these two on a different print. Let's try the black gesso first. So the concept's the same. You just use a thin layer, put your print down. With this book, I'm finding that I can't put it down. I have to put it down really quickly. I can't let it sit there too long. Woo! But you do want to rub it to get the bubbles out. Let's do that. So again, this is the black gesso. So we're just experimenting here. I mean, I'm not overly concerned if this doesn't work. If you are, you know, really love an image, by all means, make a copy of it. Ooh, that is a strong tasting, that's a strong smelling gesso. Okay, I'm gonna do it this way just so I make sure I get the print. Okay, and I'm gonna just rub it quick, and then we're gonna pull it off. I'm gonna give that a little wipe. So we're gonna let that dry before we do a pickup. Let's use this one with the white paint. I find my brain, there's only certain images that my brain can tolerate having the reverse, having the white. I think this would be one of them. I find faces difficult. Objects I find a little bit easier for your brain to reconcile. So this is white Liquitex Basics, and you want it fairly thin. That might be too thin, but that's okay. Just gonna do my best to put it on here, give it a quick rub to get the bubbles out. Rub, rub, rub-a-dub, lift it up, and there we have the white. And you might decide that you like how that looks and cut that out and put in a collage. But before I do that, I'm definitely gonna do something with this front side, but probably not today. All right, let's see if our other one is dry. Okay, so let's pick this up. Yellow with a little bit of aqua. I won't do like an ombre specifically. We'll just kind of do a little bit of randomness. So if you're watching this video, I appreciate it. And I'm going to use this little brayer to kind of mix it around. And where it mixes, I'm okay with that. We'll get a nice little green color. And you want this, you don't want this too thick for your pickup either. Okay, and let's put that on. Now this you want to let it dry. Give that a good rub. And then we'll let it dry and then I'll pull it off. Okay, so that's dry. Let's pull it. All right, that's dry. I'm feeling like pink for this one. Let's combine these two. And this one, let's do an ombre this time. We'll do bright on the bottom, maybe bright on the top, and middle, like a medium on the middle. Okay, we'll let that dry. All right, this one's dry. Let's give it a pull. So this is the problem I have with white, is that the contrast is like, eh. It's just so-so, right? So we could overprint that one with another color. Try to do it directly onto here. So I'm gonna get that ready there. Okay. Do that. Rub, rub, rub. Hopefully it works. And then let's see if we can put it down right away. Even if it's not lined up exactly, that's fine. Pull this. So I like that better. I like the dark. I did find that white gesso gave better contrast than white paint, so maybe we'll do that sometime, but that's enough for that one. I thought this would be a cute page. We'll use this block printing ink, and it stays wet a long time. So I'm gonna actually pick this up on some wet strength tissue paper directly. Nice thin. So I'm trying not to use too much. So we'll do a thin layer. I'm curious, I've never tried it with this block printing ink. So it's pretty easy to get that nice and thin. You can see that it's thin. I'm gonna just put it, stand up, get as many of these little guys as I can. And again, we don't wanna press it too long because we know from experience that this doesn't take long. So it's kind of fuzzy, but it's kind of cute. All right, it's gonna pick it up right away. Let's do that. Let's put this on right away. And we'll put that on. Now, the thing to remember is if I do use this in a collage, I won't really be able to put matte medium on the surface unless I seal it first. So I'm trying to give you guys as much information as I can think of. If you think of any additional tips and tricks or whatever, feel free to put in the comments. So that's really cute. I like it. You know what? I'm gonna wipe that. All right. So we'll let that dry. But in the meantime, let's do these little guys. And we're gonna try, with the block printing ink, it's also very important to wipe your brayer off because it will smear. So let's try the fluid. I haven't used that yet. It should be easy to get it thin. And let's be crazy. Let's do 2 colors. Let's do magenta and purple. Okay, let's do quick because I find the fluid does actually can tend to dry fast, but the nice thing is you can get it quite thin. All right, let's try this. Ooh, that's fun. And I like how that looks too. And it's a bit dark on the bottom part. So I'm gonna just kind of do that. I'm gonna keep the magenta as is. And you know what? I should try to, is this still wet? Let's try it. Is that wet? I hope it's wet because that's super cute. I don't know. No, it wasn't wet enough. So we kind of wrecked it a little bit, but that's okay. We'll let that dry and maybe I'll try to line that up and save it. That's too bad, but that looks cool. Okay, we'll let that dry more and then we'll still pick it up. We'll still pick it up on this, pull this, the one that didn't get captured on film. This is the Wet Strength Carnival tissue. But isn't that cute? This one didn't work because that one's a bit off because I tried to pick it up directly and it was already drying. So this is the bonus print I did because I didn't think the filming of this one over here had worked. Here's all our prints that we did today. This one looks better if we kind of wiggle it in the light. So that was fun session. Here is that other print I mentioned at the beginning, and this is what I did with it. So I used Posca to draw and smudge, and then I just used a couple washes of this green high flow and this indigo high flow for the sky. And then I did colorize her eyes a little bit with this green Neocolor 2 and the door. And I used, like I said, I used Posca markers and I kind of distressed it a bit with water Used a bit of white for her highlight in her eye, and I think I used a white pastel pencil to just color in her eyes. So that's where that one ended up, and I think it's quite fun and it's quite different than the original. So I hope you enjoyed this video and have fun creating. Thanks for watching. Bye.